Before we start the show, we'd like to let you know that we recorded this before the great Ken Howard passed away. We'd like to offer our condolences to his family and friends, and we hope we didn't goof on him too much.
Don't miss Ken Howard starring as the White Shadow. When the going gets rough, he can be as tough as he has to be.
I don't think there's any way you can make it to the pros. You're not good enough.
Or he can be tender.
You just reach out and take my hand.
He's a very good listener.
I mean, there is more to school than basketball.
Oh, really?
And a tough coach.
You can be easily replaced.
The team brings in the problems. The solutions come from the White Shadow.
Battle of the Network shows. Join Rick Brooks and Mike Kogel as they explore the TV of the 70s and 80s through hand-picked episodes of their favorite and not-so-favorite series.
All right, now we're going to talk about The White Shadow. White Shadow aired on CBS from 1978 to 1981. Total of 54 episodes, only one full season, 2 half seasons around the second full season. And a couple notable things about it. It was created by Bruce Paltrow, father of Gwyneth Paltrow, but also a director, including the movie Duets, favorite here.
Classic.
He was also the executive producer of St. Elsewhere, and a lot of people from the show, both on camera and off camera, went on to other things. Notable 3 of the actors have gone on to pretty solid TV directing careers. Thomas Carter, who played Hayward, Kevin Hooks, who played Thorpe, and Timothy Van Patten, who played Salami. And all of them are still working today. You see their names crop up. Timothy Van Patten, in particular, has become like the go-to guy at HBO. He directed a lot of Sopranos, directed the pilot, or the second version of the pilot of Game of Thrones, and did like 20 episodes of Boardwalk Empire. Also son of Dick Van Patten. Recently passed away, Dick Van Patten. And he was also on that ninja show, The Master. And a bunch of the writers went on to stuff too. Joshua Brand and John Falsey created St. Elsewhere, Northern Exposure, and I'll Fly Away together. And Joshua Brand is one of the executive producers on The Americans right now on FX. John Mazius created Touched by an Angel, Providence, and Hawthorne. And Mark Tinker, son of Grant Tinker, and stepson of ex-stepson, I think is what IMDb said, of Mary Tyler Moore, is a writer, director, and producer, and worked on The White Shadow, St. Elsewhere, Chicago Hope, NYPD Blue, and Deadwood, among others. So it's a very kind of storied show in a way.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm assuming that's no coincidence that so many people went on to other things. It must
I don't
have been
think so.
a nurturing environment
heard,
for.
Like Tom Fontana, who went on to do Homicide, was on St. Elsewhere, and he's got a reputation for nurturing his writers and making sure they're always on, get to learn every aspect of the job of producing, like, be on set, be in casting calls and edit and stuff. And I think he learned that from Bruce Paltrow from being on St. Elsewhere.
Very cool.
Yeah. Also, an MTM show, Mary Tyler Moore and Grant Tinker's Company. Also known for the Mary Tyler Moore Show, Newhart, the first Bob Newhart Show, St. Elsewhere. A lot of really quality shows.
Right.
Yeah. And their logo's a cat.
Yeah.
That at the end of The White Shadow plays a basketball, dribbles a basketball. The White Shadow is about a coach played by Ken Howard. His character's named Ken Reeves. He's a ex-Chicago Bull. He had a knee injury, and he's come to L.A. to coach basketball at an inner-city school. The principal is an old buddy of his from college and ropes him into this. And over the course of the series, he helps these inner-city guys kind of, one, become better basketball players and become a team. Like when it starts out, it's like the Bad News Bears. They're just terrible. And by the episode we watched, the end of season 2, they're city champs.
Yeah. A great turnaround for this program.
It really is, yeah. But it's not all, it's not all rainbows and sunshine, as we'll find out. And it dealt with a lot of social issues, kind of before its time. One, it had like a predominantly African American cast. There are like, I think in season 2 there are like 3 white guys on the team. 2 of them are Italian and one of them's Jewish, and there's a Latino guy, and then a bunch of African Americans, and the principal and the vice principal are both African American, and so over the course of it they dealt with issues. There's an episode about a player who might be homosexual. There's a infamous episode about PCP, and another infamous episode about venereal disease and teenage pregnancy, and this one deals with kind of a random death, and it's like socially conscious TV.
Yeah, and these are the episodes that kind of stand out, I think, if you ask somebody to remember. But I think you make a good point that there were a lot of African-American comedies on network TV in those days, but dramas with a predominantly African-American cast, that was definitely a different thing. And
treating them like as realistically as a TV show in 1979 could.
Yeah, and actually, I mean, that's kind of, that type of show isn't as common as it is. I mean, back kind of in the 70s, you had more socially relevant dramas, as opposed to genre like crime dramas or science fiction. You would have like actual like dramas.
And MTM was big at like the other one of your favorites, Lou Grant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is kind of roughly the same time period, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So my relationship with The White Shadow, I don't think I was probably slightly too young to watch it when it was first on. Although I kind of remember like seeing the first episode, like maybe we were traveling in a hotel room and my dad just left it on CBS because that's what he did. But then it was on in reruns a lot in the afternoon, a little later, and it was right around the time I was like really got into basketball and was kind of like becoming more socially conscious myself, I guess. So it like tapped into a lot of things I was interested in. I remember watching it pretty religiously in reruns, and then seeing it in various different ways as an adult. And for the most part, I think it holds up. It's a little goofy sometimes, and but it wears its heart on its sleeve, and that's part of what makes it goofy. Yeah. Because that's hard to do, but
I think that's another hallmark of a lot of those shows of that era, those dramas. They do wear their hearts on their sleeves, and they're sincere, and sometimes like the earnestness of not only the characters, but you can tell that the show is putting a message out there.
Right.
And you can have mixed results with that, but I think White Shadow, I think that I agree with you. I think it holds up very well today. It's a very entertaining show.
Yeah, and you got a lot of basketball, and you get the other thing they were doing that. I guess maybe just because it was targeted at adults, nobody cared, but it was clear these guys had sex. Mm-hmm. They drank. They did drugs sometimes. I mean, they drink in this episode. That's a big plot point. So and we should talk about the episode. And the name of it is The Death of Me? Or close to that.
Yes, The Death of Me Yet.
Death of Me Yet, with a question mark. So this is not the season finale, although it sure feels like it.
Yeah, it really does.
It's near the end of the second season.
Okay.
A couple things of side interest. Coach Reeves has a girlfriend in this, a fellow teacher, and that got set up in another episode we talked about maybe watching called Salami's Affair that focused on salami.
Yes, of course.
So in this episode, I think the episode opens with them kind of winning the game that's like a playoff game that's going to get them into the city championship. And you get a speech, and it's got a like interesting editing style. Like some of the audio of his speech is playing over the game, and then they're cutting to that, and so they win the game, and it's a big deal. And part of it, the big deal, is just that a lot of these guys are graduating. Part of it is that it's put Coach Reeves on the map, and he might start getting offers from other places and possibly taking them.
Yeah, and everybody's aware of that too, by the way. Like it's spoken about openly, like they're worried about, at Carver High, they
right.
It's on their mind too that, hey, he might be too good for us to keep him here.
Yeah. And I don't know exactly what happened to his basketball money, although I'm sure in the 70s basketball money wasn't that great.
Probably not, yeah.
But he lives in a kind of dumpy apartment and drives a station wagon.
Yeah.
So either he didn't make much or he didn't save it.
Yeah, this isn't like a former athlete like today where he would have made like $20 million right out of the draft and been able to bank that. I mean, he's got to work for a living, I guess.
Yeah. So, and then pretty early on, we get the guys. They're having a party. They're celebrating.
They are having a party.
They are. They got some great generic Mike Post music playing on the record.
Yeah, some royalty-free music.
They got some. They're dancing a little bit.
Yeah,
they're all in an apartment, and I don't know whose apartment that is, but
yeah, I don't think they established that, but
no.
It's a pretty spacious apartment. They got a lot of people crammed in there, though.
Yeah,
not just the team. They got some.
They got the equipment manager, who's the guy who accidentally took the PCP in the other episode, and he apparently procured them the booze. At least started out. There's something about that, or the ladies, something.
Yeah.
He gets a shout out. A lot of times he just sat in the background. So he gets some credit. And you got Gomez is just sitting there with his girlfriend. They're just sitting there.
Yeah. Just hanging out. Enjoying the vibe.
Yeah. And they realize they're out of booze. I think that's part. Gomez drank a lot of it.
That's probably why he's sitting there so quiet.
Yeah. And somebody's got to go get the booze. So one of the players, Curtis Jackson, he gets sent because he doesn't drink, and that was the previous storyline too, that he had basically become an alcoholic.
Yeah,
and got cleaned up.
Okay, they didn't say that.
They didn't say that, but it's
because they say he's the only one straight enough to go to be able to basically walk.
Walk a few blocks.
Yeah. So that makes sense. I missed that. I didn't get that, but
and. So he agrees to go. His girlfriend doesn't want him to go.
Let me mention one thing.
Who also appeared in the Salamis affair. She asked him to the Sadie Hawkins dance.
The girlfriend. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's
some continuity.
So there's something. This isn't just somebody he's met at the party that he's making time with. It's like there's actually something going on there.
For like 10 episodes.
Okay, that actually makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Because I was very upset during the episode that he's clearly got a chance with this girl here, and things are going well.
And the guys.
And it seemed to me really poor form for them to pick him to be the one and leave her and go,
Right.
Even though, no matter how
it
far
probably
away,
is still poor form, because these guys are not always they're not always good to each other.
No. And maybe they don't have as much, practice at, underage drinking, which maybe is a good thing.
Right.
But it seems to me like a little bit of a faux pas to send that guy, especially if he's an alcoholic.
Right. Well, I guess they trust he's not going to drink it. I mean, he's sitting there at the party not drinking, so.
Yeah, but it seems particularly unfair to make him go do it.
Yeah.
And one other thing I want to mention before we get to what happens when he goes to get the booze is that Salami's wearing sunglasses inside the whole time at the party, which is pretty cool. He's wearing his sunglasses at night, man, and he's loving life, clearly.
That's nice. I don't think I picked up on that, but
there's no shame in that. There's no shame in that, but I did want to mention
detail.
that. Yeah, thank you.
He didn't want anybody to know he was drunk.
Yeah,
he was hiding his bloodshot eyes.
He did a brilliant job because I couldn't see those eyes.
Or maybe
big shades he was wearing.
This all falls on Salami. Maybe he wasn't drunk either. He was hiding his non-bloodshot eyes.
Yeah, he was just too lazy to go to the store and
get
the booze himself.
Yeah. And he's still recovering from the trauma of sleeping with his teacher.
Could be.
So.
Could be.
His cousin could have gone. I don't know if the cousin was at the party. The other Italian guy, Nick, who wasn't. He wasn't like he became more prominent in the third season. And then there's Goldstein. I don't know if he was there either. Sometimes there are these scenes where it's implied that everyone's there. There's a scene later where it's implied the whole team's there, and then the whole team is not there.
Yeah. I don't remember if Goldstein was at the party. I remember seeing him later in the episode. But poor Jackson.
Jackson goes to the liquor store. I think he gets some beer. He gets a little bit of everything. He's already paid for it, and the guy comes in to hold up the store. And the cashier pulls a shotgun. The guy shoots the cashier, and then he looks at Jackson. They cut to close up of Jackson. He's like, no, man, or
Yeah.
something. And then he gets killed.
Yeah, Jackson was clearly an innocent bystander.
Yeah, totally. And the
And-
cops, later you hear someone recounting it.
Yeah,
and
they figured
totally figured out
They
the whole thing.
reconstructed what happened. And actually, I think the cashier, he basically gave him the money and then shot him, right? Like, in the way.
Yeah.
Like,
Right, yeah.
he really
right.
didn't need to do it. I mean, it kind of makes it a little bit more of a waste, but
Yeah. And it's sad.
it is. It's
Even if you don't know the character that well.
yeah, and it must have been incredibly. I don't know how they promoted this episode. I'd be curious
Right.
to know, but it must have been very shocking.
I would think so, yeah.
1979 or 80 or whatever to see that,
Yeah, one of the main characters. And
especially after the high of the celebration, and this is like the peak of Carver High and their journey as basketball players, and all of a sudden one of their players is shot in this like almost random event.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
yeah. Now, I would say in terms of the cast, and I don't remember if he was a starter on the team, but he's probably like second tier. Like you got your Coolidge and your Salami and your Hayward and your Thorpe.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the top tier.
yeah,
And then there's like Jackson and Reese
okay,
and maybe Gomez.
yeah,
Gomez doesn't. I always forget that he was on the show.
yeah,
And Goldstein. Those guys are the next level.
right.
But he's still an important member of the cast. And memorable just for his hat.
Yeah.
As a sort of denim beret.
Yes.
Becomes important in this episode later. So we cut from that moment to the next morning, and Coach Reeves is in his office, and the assistant principal comes down and is trying to tell him what happened, and he's just like, it's one of those classic scenes you see all the time, like,
Yeah.
just like, just like, what do you want? Oh, fine, I'll get to you later. What? And then she tells him.
Right. He thinks she's just going to like make life difficulties. She's got
Yeah.
some kind of like administrative thing or something she's going to get in his case about.
Right,
He just
and
wants
I think he had just gotten a call from the college like right before he talked to her, right?
Yeah, or it's like during,
The-
like, yeah,
yeah.
You're right. She comes in and wants to talk to him, and then I think he gets the call before she tells him what
Right,
happened.
that's
but-
right. He goes
but
up to her
yeah.
office and she tells him. And so the call, surprise guest star. I mean, it was a surprise to me. I didn't pick it for that reason, but
Yeah.
but kind of a big a regular presence on 70s TV, wouldn't you say, as guest star, who later became a movie star.
That's correct.
I'll let you say, because
Yeah, I was surprised too. It was Jamie Cromwell.
Jamie.
I was confused. I think he was billed
Is
as.
that how he's credited?
I think I thought in like maybe not as late as Revenge of the Nerds, but there was something early that he was billed as Jamie Cromwell,
Oh.
and I don't know if he was in this episode. I didn't see.
Right.
But yeah, the great James Cromwell. It's funny because I've seen him in other things where he was younger, but in this one he didn't seem young at all. He seemed like appropriate to be. Yeah, he seemed like older than Coach Reeves.
Yeah.
He had that kind of air about him already in this role. Anyway.
Right, and he's like the athletic director at a college, in the LA area.
Yes. Like I don't know if they say what it is.
And
but-
I think they had a name. but-
okay, but it was a fictional,
yeah, I feel like maybe it was supposed to be like
like
Pepperdine or something.
Yeah, like California U or something
Yeah.
like that. But yeah,
Right.
a nice school.
And he pretty much makes him an offer.
Yeah,
He's like, even if he doesn't win the city championship, he's already good enough to get an offer. And he, I think they end the conversation with, at least give me the first shot.
yeah.
Like if
like
you get other
gets-
offers,
let
come
me
back
match
to me.
it.
Let me
Yeah,
match it.
Exactly.
And then they kind of agree that he's going to go down there and
Yeah.
visit later. But so then the coach finds out about the death, and obviously it really knocks him down. And sort of his conflict for the rest of the show, one is maybe I should just go to the college because I'm not doing any good here. Like if and he finds out, like, he kind of already knew, but a lot of these guys who are graduating don't have any plans. Like Reese and Goldstein, I don't think have any plans. Hayward, I think, has a college lined up. I think those are the three guys graduating. Reese and Goldstein don't have anything, and he doesn't
Yeah.
know what these other guys are going to do. And some of them are not the brightest bulbs,
Yeah.
They try, but
Yeah, he feels this like existential thing about like what have I done? If one of
other
my
than make him a good basketball
right, he was trying to keep his kids away from the kind of thing that happened at Jackson. He
Yeah.
thought that this would insulate them from that, and this is kind of a reminder that the real world is still there, and what's it all for? And so that's
Yeah.
definitely weighing heavily on him in this episode.
And then we get one of the best scenes, I thought, was when a bunch of the guys on the team are sitting around in the bleachers talking about it. And kind of before that, you also get the question, are they even going to play the game? Like the coach is already thinking about that. Like he's thinking he doesn't want to. Like what's the point? But he's going to leave it up to them.
Yeah. Now this is interesting. This is something I wanted to ask you about. One thing I wanted to ask you: do you think they should have played the game? And if it's at all possible, would you have played the game? Like today, I don't know if they would have gone and played the game in that that kind of circumstance. I don't think it would have been an option. I think they would have just postponed it or something.
Yeah. I think it was right that they did. Like that was a good way to cope with it. I think.
Right.
It was just do what they had all worked together to do, and
I don't think they intend it to come this way necessarily, but it's interesting because like a lot of times when Coach Reeves is asking them, he kind of makes it sound like there's no point because they won't be able to play their best.
Right.
He doesn't say like, oh, it's just in poor taste. Yeah. Like they don't really address that angle at all.
I don't think the taste angle is there.
And they don't really say like Jackson would have wanted it. They just are doing it because that's what they do, and they don't explicitly say that.
And it does seem like there's a little bit, maybe not with them, but with another character later, of also like him trying to break through sort of macho stuff and be like, it's okay if you don't want to play,
Right. He's almost trying to get them to acknowledge the fact that
to be emotional about it. And when they're in a culture where not just, I mean, I think their environment, but also just being athletes. Like there's a lot in being men. It's their nature not to do it. But I think them choosing to do it, it makes sense to me from a grief standpoint that sometimes work, which that's essentially what that is for them, is good. So we see them. They're sitting around in the bleachers, and so Hayward had gone down to the liquor store and basically seen the cops there and seen Jackson's body and found out what happened. Found his hat, his iconic hat, and his sunglasses, and they just have this talk. And while they're talking, they just kind of very subtly like pass the hat back and forth. And it's not even like I don't think it's like pass the hat and then say something. They're just passing it around.
Yeah.
And then they decide to play the game. And you get it, like Hayward kind of feels guilty, and kind of he saw it, so that bothers him. But they all feel a little guilty about sending him.
It's one of those things where I think it's like it's not explicit, it's unspoken, but it's clear. It's well presented in that scene.
Yeah.
And you're right, that is an excellent scene. They're not like openly saying like they're saying a lot without saying a lot. And even when they decide to play the game, as I recall, they don't actually. I think they say something like, "Is anybody not in favor of playing the game?" They sort of all realize at the same time that that's what they got to do, that they got to play the game, but they don't really do it so much in a formal way of going around and having everybody make a speech about it. But it just sort of comes out of the way they're talking. So you're right. That's an excellent scene.
Yeah. And then it kind of ends, like one of them leaves the hat on the bleachers and Hayward comes back and gets it. And then the coach comes in and it's kind of like, why didn't you call me?
Yeah.
But to ask about them playing the game and stuff. And then later we see him go visit this college, which looks like a really nice college. They're showing off the gym and the facilities, and they have all sorts of like physical therapy stuff, and that's just great. And I don't know if it was intentional casting, but the one player he meets is like, well, it looks like a lot like Ken Howard. He's very blonde and blue-eyed, and like totally the opposite of all of these guys.
I mean, there's clearly a message that he's going to have the funnest facilities. He's not going to have to worry about these quote-unquote social issues.
He's going to be making a good living.
Yeah. So and clearly a great opportunity.
He's definitely considering it at that point. It's definitely there. And his girlfriend is sort of trying to, I think, dissuade him from that. And their few little scenes together. And just trying to get through his grief too and help him. And then and the students find out, like, that they know, like you said, that he's looking at other places. And he's just like, I haven't decided yet. And then later, there's a scene in the locker room, and there's this kid getting Jackson's stuff out of his locker. And it turns out it's his little brother. And the coach gives him a ride home, and they're talking. And the kid basically tells him, that he plays basketball, and and he wants to play for him someday because how much Jackson or Curtis talked about him and stuff. And he explained why he likes basketball so much. It's because when he's playing, that's all he thinks about. Like, he doesn't have to think about all the stuff in their neighborhood and now his brother being dead and all that. And that really comes back later, but it moves the coach a lot. And he was played by a kid with a very cool name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I gotta see if I can find it here.
This is Jackson's younger brother.
Jackson's younger brother. I'll cut some of this out. Famous last words from a podcast. I'll cut this out.
It is a good scene though in the car.
Here we go. Beanie Williams.
Beanie Williams, very good.
Beanie Williams played Jackson's brother.
He plays the role for a kid. He has a lot more gravitas than you might think of somebody named Beanie.
Yes.
he does a good job. I mean, he's a kid. He looks like a kid, appropriately like a kid, but there's it's emotional part of the show there.
Yeah. And then we get to the day of the big game. They go to the basketball arena. I'm not sure which one it is. I don't think it's the Forum. It didn't say the Forum on it. So maybe it's where the Clippers used to play.
Like the old sports arena or something.
I think that's
maybe.
what it says.
Yeah, the LA Sports Arena.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. And they're all feeling it. They're in this big place, and Thorpe, who's always a little bit of a tries to put on a show about how cool he is. He's like, this is my kind of, I don't get nervous and everything. And then, of course, right before the game, he's in the bathroom throwing up.
Yeah. Right.
And they set that, it's interesting because they set up in the little preview at the beginning, like that as being a much more dramatic thing.
Right.
Like, something bad happened, and then like, oh, where's Thorpe?
Yeah.
And it's right before the game.
Right.
Yeah, he's just throwing up.
Yeah.
And then this is maybe the in a way the best part of the show. They start the game, smash cut, they've won the game.
Right.
There was no
you see
game
very
at all.
little of the game. At least at the beginning you saw a little bit of the game
Yeah.
at the playoff game, but this game, there's no basketball action.
Yeah. And it's another, they do some of the fun editing with that, I think, but it's just
You don't
I had a good laugh.
You don't always see a lot of what makes Coach Ken a great game day coach.
No.
In these
Mostly it's him just yelling.
Yeah. He's pretty low key in this episode. Like even his pregame speeches are pretty low key.
Yeah.
Like the first one is basically like, it's our time, and it's very calm and low key.
Right.
And then I guess for the championship game,
I
guess he just excites them with his big news.
That he's staying.
Right. And because they pretty much were assuming he was going, I guess.
Right, yeah.
So
and pretty much the talk with this kid sealed the deal that he was going to stay.
Yeah.
Like he had a reason to stay.
I guess it would be pretty funny if he told them he was staying, and then after the game he said, you know what, I think I'm going to leave. I've accomplished everything I could, and then kind of just betrayed them like that.
And actually, now I remember, the cut is not to them. It's cut from the beginning of the game to them getting their trophies.
Yeah, right. They get rid of all that extraneous basketball stuff.
Yeah.
And get to the...
And there the coach gives a nice... before he gives Jackson's trophy to his brother.
Yeah.
He gives a nice speech and talks about that talk and stuff. And, it's a good episode.
It is good. And one other thing I want to mention, I don't know if we mentioned yet, earlier in the episode, there's a scene where after they win the playoff game, Jackson comes into Coach's office.
Oh, yeah.
And basically kind of going to your theme of like guys not saying things when they mean it. He gives an awkward speech where he's basically trying to say basically thanks, and Coach Ken basically completes it and says, you want to say thanks for, He's basically thanking him for molding him into this and for getting him here and helping him like grow as a person. And it winds up going unsaid, but he says, thanks, and he's kind of relieved that he doesn't actually have to say it.
Right.
Because Coach Reeves said it for him.
Because all the other players have already done that.
Yeah.
He's been through this. And he had, I think, maybe he says something that he had done the same thing when he was, giving the same speech to a coach of his and stuff.
And in retrospect, it's easy to kind of say, something bad was going to happen, because that scene kind of like foreshadows that, definitely.
Interesting bit of trivia. His college coach, Bob Cousy.
Bob Cousy.
This also came up in the Salami's Affair episode.
Wow.
He's talking to his the woman who's his girlfriend in this episode, and talks about why he went to Boston College. Mm-hmm. And she's like, why? Because Bob Cousy was there.
Yeah. Duh. Yeah. Of course.
And I know there's an episode somewhere where a great basketball player shows up.
Yeah.
Whose name I just forgot.
Yeah.
Boston Celtics center.
Bill Russell?
Bill Russell.
Well, Bill Russell was also on the Saturday Night Live. There's an episode Bill Russell hosted of Saturday Night Live where he was in the Black Shadow, where the idea was he was coaching like white guys, you know, and that was pretty funny as I recall.
That's good.
Much better than I would have thought a Bill Russell hosted episode would be. That was I think the original cast that episode, but it's a good episode and it's a good show. I personally I didn't watch it a lot at all when it was on, and I don't even remember seeing it in reruns. Yeah. And, you know, I was a kid, I was into sports, and it seems to me like this, not only that, but when I was young, I went through a phase where I was reading a lot of aimed at, like, juvenile fiction with, like, urban settings. Like, back then, you know, they'd call them, like, ghetto novels or something like that. And I remember reading those and sort of being interested in that, and even into, like, junior high, maybe, like, early junior high, reading those. So this is the kind of thing that if it had been on in reruns, I probably would have eaten this up, but I didn't really watch a whole lot of it until later when I was an adult.
Right. So, like, when I watched it in reruns, a lot of times I'd watch it and then go out and shoot baskets.
Yeah.
And make up my... Like, I had a whole fictional basketball team that I made up.
Nice.
They were pros, but
okay.
You know, it was the same idea. It was definitely, you know, inspired.
With Coach Ken as the coach of your team?
No, but it had a lot of melodrama like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. On your team, you had a lot of melodrama?
Yeah. Like, I wasn't... The basketball part, it wasn't as interesting to me as...
Yeah.
I liked the basketball, but I already knew instinctively.
The basketball
you can't do a TV show just about basketball.
No.
It's got to be about what's happening, you know, when you're not on the court.
Exactly. And, I think White Shadow may be one of the... I don't know, was there a better sports show than... A regular sports show than White Shadow? I mean, most of them failed.
There was the Bad News Bears sitcom.
Yeah, which failed.
Yeah.
There was First and 10 on HBO, the football show.
Yeah.
Every now and then you'll get there was that Dean Cain baseball show. I think it was Dean Cain or something a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Every now and then people try, and then there was Playmakers on ESPN.
Right.
But
no, of course, this had the advantage of being two things. It was a basketball show and it was a high school show. And high school shows don't always work either.
True.
Like, you got to have a hook there, too. Mm-hmm. You know, it can't just be as people going to school.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, well, there's, what's the one from the 60s?
Room 222.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a similar kind of school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like an inner city school, or...
Yeah, I think there was a big, like, ethnic mix in there, but I think it was like a Los Angeles area school, yeah. Yeah, so I don't think there's probably hasn't been, I can't think of one off the top of my head, a better sports show, but there haven't been too many. They don't try that. It's kind of I guess there's that LeBron James produced show on Stars or something now, which I haven't seen, but I guess
Ballers on HBO.
Yeah. White Shadows is a pretty distinctive series, and it holds up, but it also stands out because of like the social issues, because of the sports theme, and it has shown up it's been on NBA TV, ESPN Classics. Yeah. It's on DVD, but it still seems to me to be pretty far under the radar. But it seems like the people that watched it remember it pretty fondly and have vivid memories of certain episodes. So I guess, you know, I think its legacy goes on even in more than just that big director-writer tree of behind-the-scenes talent. But
right, and it's one of the most important shows in the whole Tommy Westphal universe.
Ah, okay.
Because the character Coolidge, who's the center on the show and the tall guy, later showed up as an orderly in the hospital in St. Elsewhere.
Yeah.
It's already, I mean, and it was definitely him, because, and I remember distinctively, definitely seeing this in a hotel room, because that was another show that was a show like I wanted to watch, but it was on too late.
St. Elsewhere?
Yeah. But I think my parents watched it, maybe my brother watched it a little bit, he was older, where Timothy Van Patten plays a patient, and Coolidge, like, sees him, is like calling him Salami.
Yeah, really.
This guy's just looking at him like he's crazy.
Yeah.
And then, of course, so if you don't know that, St. Elsewhere ended with this famous finale that indicates that the whole show was in the mind of this autistic kid who's just looking in a snow globe. And then people have taken that and the connections, and basically the idea is that all of TV is inside this kid's head.
Right.
You can find this on the internet somewhere.
Yes.
Tommy Westphal Universe. And but I think that's like one of the big connectors. And then a couple St. Elsewhere characters showed up on Homicide later. And then since Munch from Homicide has been on a bunch of shows, like he's connective tissue too.
Yeah.
Because he met them, and then.
So all these shows, all these fake shows are really fake.
They're really fake
because they're all just in this
in the head of this child.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta say I like Ken Howard a lot too.
Yeah, he is. He's very charismatic in this show.
Yeah, I like he's got that little New York accent just a little bit, and when he shows up and stuff now, even I just it's Ken Howard.
Yeah,
he was on a bunch of episodes as 30 Rock is like a sort of the owner of a Comcast like company that was buying NBC.
Yeah.
He was on Curb Your Enthusiasm as a very white guy at a golf course.
Yeah.
And I forgot, I was looking at he was the villain in Michael Clayton.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So, he's still out there doing work, and he's the current president of SAG, or SAG-AFTRA.
Right, he's still out there.
Yeah,
and
he did a lot of Broadway and stuff when he was younger.
Yeah, it was 1776.
Oh, yeah, he was
Jefferson, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's done a lot of stuff.
Yep.
But to a lot of people, I'm sure it'll be Coach Reeves, and he was great in this show.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be watching more. White Shadows.
So that's streaming on Hulu. Unfortunately, a couple episodes seem to be missing. One of them involves the Harlem Globetrotters, and one of them I think is the one we were looking at episodes. Is Coolidge's house burns down. He moves in with the coach.
Yeah, I don't know why that one would be.
I don't know what's
would be
important
missing,
about that.
what the holdup would be for that. Some kind of music issue. I don't know.
Yeah. Speaking of music too, this is a really good theme song.
It is.
It's like got a lot of horns. It's a dance, kind of funky dance song.
Yeah, it's got a little funk.
Mike Post and Pete Carpenter, known for many theme songs in the TV, and
yeah, that's some of their best work, and it really sets the. It says something about the show. It's also fun to listen to. It's kind of cool. It's good for that show because the show was very serious, but there were a lot of lighthearted moments even within this episode.
Yeah.
And that theme song it's kind of a fun, up tempo kind of thing that gets things going.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the best theme songs of the era.
Yeah. The White Shadow. 2 points. I don't know.
You're saying nothing but net for this
Nothing
episode?
but net. There we go. That's the better basketball analogy.
It was awesome, baby.
It's a trifecta, right?
Yes.
It's got a good acting, the good writing, and the cool theme song.
Yeah.
I think that's all a show needs.
Exactly. There you go.
You could have 2 of those and be okay.
Yeah, you get 3 of them, and you're an eternal classic.
Right. Okay.
This segment brought to you by the Carver High Pep Squad. This segment also brought to you by Goop. Gwyneth's dad made the White Shadow. Gwyneth made Goop. This segment also brought to you by Solana. What we'd like to see. Time for our what we'd like to see, and we like to talk about things that we can see and that we have seen, but there's also a lot of stuff out there that, as far as we know, we can't see, but we'd like to, and that's what this segment's all about. This is these are more rare things, things that you probably won't find on a streaming service or on your DVD shelf at the store. This is from September 4th, 1978. And these are real things that actually...
So you're not just saying a show, you're also saying an episode.
Well, this is a special.
Oh, a special.
This isn't an episode. Yeah, this is a
one-time event.
Yes, this is a one-time event.
All right.
I'll give you the title, and I'll see if you can guess actually what this might be about. This is a real piece of Americana. The 36 Most Beautiful Girls in Texas. It was on ABC, and it's something, again, it's a great Ernie Anderson title because you can picture the promo. The 36 Most Beautiful Girls in Texas.
I assume it's about the 36 most beautiful girls in Texas. It might be a beauty contest, a fashion beauty pageant.
Okay, you're on the right track, but actually this is about the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
Oh, duh.
Now this is like the late 70s when there was a big effort to put the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders over as like not just a cheerleading team, but like American icons.
That's right.
And this was part of that effort. And there was actually like a huge TV movie that did really big ratings, like a fictional movie about the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. And for a while, I guess it was thought they'd be real stars and they'd branch out in other things. I would like to see this not just for the reason of seeing 36 cheerleaders or whatever, but let me tell you who was in this special, okay?
Besides the 36.
Besides the 36 most beautiful girls in Texas. It was hosted by Hal Linden.
Nice.
Just the idea of Hal Linden, I can just picture him doing this as a pro, but just kind of a mixture of like lightheartedness and and giving some credibility.
What do you think he was wearing?
Good question.
Was it a tuxedo affair?
I don't think so. I'm going to tell you why. I think it was a mix of different elements of like different scenes put together. Mm-hmm. I'm picturing him like kind of in something more casual, maybe looking more like a sportscaster or something like that, maybe a blazer or something.
Yeah. Do you think there's a scene at any point where they're all standing in a line like the Rockettes, and he like maybe does a number with them even? I was just thinking him walking down the line like, I don't know, saying hi to all of them, but now I'm thinking, because he's a song and dance man.
Yeah, he could definitely pull that off. I'm thinking more they probably did an entry where they all say their names like going down one by one, and Hal Linden is just like, makes some theatrical hand gesture and introduces them as they pan up to, some Busby Berkeley-like view of all them.
Right.
And some, like the Cowboy Star or something that they would have formed. I don't know. But I'd like to see Hal Linden doing that.
Yes.
Yeah. But listen to who else is in this special.
Okay.
Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal.
Charles Nelson Riley.
Charles Nelson Riley.
And Joey Travolta. Not John Travolta.
No, Joey Travolta.
Joey Travolta.
I've seen his one movie.
So, but you haven't. I should just ask this just to be sure. You haven't seen this special already, have you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But what year did it come out?
It was in 1978.
1978? No. There's a good chance my neighbor did. Like, I had a neighbor who was a Cowboys fan, the same age as me.
Yeah.
His parents also let him watch stuff. They took him to The Jerk, which I know in retrospect, The Jerk is not.
Yeah, that was an R-rated movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's not.
Right.
It's pretty tame rated R.
But still. Yeah.
I think maybe because he was, the only child, and maybe they couldn't afford a babysitter or something.
Yeah.
They just took him to The Jerk.
Okay.
But
so he might have been watching this.
Yeah.
Well, so it's September, probably getting everybody ready for football season.
Right.
And from my research, I figured out it looks like, I don't know if they might have done profile pieces on the cheerleaders, but they also had footage of practice routines, of course. Some game footage of them actually cheerleading during a game, and some bit where they went to Six Flags. Now, in addition, I found out what those guest stars, what roles they did during the show, and this kind of reveals a little bit of what this special was probably about. Yeah. Charles Nelson Riley played their cheerleading coach.
That makes sense.
Joey Travolta was a starstruck groundskeeper, so he was probably pining away for them or something like that. And there was probably some business where he was like fumbling over, stuff and like accidentally almost running over his foot with a lawnmower, stuff like that.
Exactly.
Billy Crystal was a depressed hot dog vendor, and the description I read in an original newspaper article, a little piece in a Texas newspaper. Although they spelled it hot got vendor. I'm assuming they meant hot dog vendor. Unless there's something else, some 70s thing.
In Texas, they have hot gots.
Yeah.
It's a
hot gots.
It's a GOT.
Yes.
So it wasn't even that would be a hot god vendor. That would be different too.
Yes. This, and from what I read, that apparently
hot gots here.
Yeah. Yeah, so at some point, Billy Crystal did his Howard Cosell impersonation in the special, which is not surprising at all.
What does this air on ABC?
This was ABC.
That's right, you said.
Yeah, this is ABC, and apparently it was a happening, and I guess it did okay. But
Hal Linden played himself.
Yeah, Hal Linden was hosting, so I don't know if he interacted in these. I hope that he was in these skits, like interacting as Hal Linden, like as a bemused spectator, like interviewing like Billy Crystal and Joey Travolta's characters as if they were real, actual people, involved with the team. But unfortunately, I don't know anymore because I can't see it. I don't think it's on YouTube or anything. But if somebody knows,
someone must have
Betamaxed
it.
I'm thinking I'm thinking there were a lot of guys that probably Betamaxed it, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
You'd think it would have. It probably had, a certain appeal, but you'd think it would be a pretty sought after special, but the kind of thing that you probably won't see on DVD. But it would be an interesting piece of 70s pop culture that I'd like to see, and I'm imagining there was some kind of cheesy disco influenced opening to it as well. So
yeah, maybe Billy Crystal will do his next one-man show about
about his experience
about that, or just that period of his career where he wasn't, he was in stuff a lot.
Yeah,
but he wasn't a star yet.
Right, he was probably like I guess he might have been on Soap at the time, maybe.
Yeah,
like as a supporting player
and had his,
on that, and
his weird SNL thing that happened, and where he was almost on the first show and wasn't, and
to me this sounds like a winner. So that's my choice for today. As that's something that I would like to see.
Okay, that was
what we'd like to see. Join us next time for another exciting episode of Battle of the Network shows. Learn more, leave feedback, and suggest future episodes at battleofthenetworkshows.com. Follow us on Twitter at BatNetShows, and like our Facebook page, facebook.com/battleofthenetworkshows.
Tuesday on The White Shadow.
I bet the girls are just crazy about you.
Salami's involvement with his teacher goes beyond the classroom. Tuesday at 8, 7 Central.